have a very renowned professor and the principal of Vivekanand College of Law, Dr. K.B. Campagoda. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ankit. Good afternoon.
Sir, let me give you a brief introduction to your career. I think it's a very distinguished career. You have started teaching in 1995 and you have published more than 9 research articles and you are currently member of academic council.
More than 15 articles.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, 15 articles. Yeah.
Oh, sir, amazing. You're also one of the academic council member of JSS Law College, and you're also the former academic council member of Bangalore University.
Yes.
And adding cherry on the cake, you were the founding secretary of Karnataka Private Law Colleges Association, Bangalore.
Yes.
I'm really amazed with the profile, sir, and I would like to really ask, what keeps you motivated? How are you feeling connected to the education sector? What's the one thing which motivates you in and out in your professional career?
Yes, I started my career as a lecturer of political science in the year 1990. When I was teaching, I was attracted to this course, particularly law. Then I joined law. I completed my LLB, LLM. Then immediately after completion of my LLM, I joined as a lecturer at PS Law College, Mandya. And then I joined this institution, Vivekananda College of Law, as its principal in the year 2000. And it is my 20th year in this institution as a principal. I was continuously in this institution, except for a brief period. I was in the Mysore University on deputation. I am the founder director of the Mysore University School of Law. I was on deputation for some time, wherein I introduced BCom LLB in the Mysore University. I am happy that it is one of the reputed institution now in Mysore city.
Yeah, sir. Indeed, sir. And thanks for sharing your professional career, and it's really motivating for all the people who are hearing this. May I know, sir, a little bit if you can put more light on the functioning of the college, the programs you provide, and what's the strength you have right now?
Okay, let me introduce my institution first. This Janata Education Society is running Vivekananda Group of Education Institutions. Janata Education Society was founded in the year 1972. They have started with PU College. Now we have in Bangalore city, in and around Bangalore city, 4 campuses. Janata Education Society running 16 education institutions. All these institutions are named after Swami Vivekananda. Now, Janata Education Society is one of the premier education institution in the city, providing education in from KG to PG. That is from LKG to PG program we are offering technical education, pharmacy. Apart from law, we are offering even management courses also we are running. There are 16 education institutions now in 4 campuses. Vivekananda College of Law was started in the year 1983. Its founder principal is a renowned academic, a great advocate, Shri Janardhan, M.R. Janardhan, formerly was the Advocate General for the state of Karnataka. He founded this institution in the year 1983-84. We have introduced 3-year LLB course, started with 3-year LLB course in the year 83-84. And we have introduced 5-year BA LLB in the year 1986, when it was first introduced by the Bar Council of India. Ours was the first private law college which started 5-year BA LLB integrated course in under Bangalore University in the year 1986. Then we have started BCom LLB 3 years back. Now we are successfully running 3 courses, that is 3-year LLB course, 5-year BA LLB, and 5-year become LLB integrated course.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. Thanks for such a detailed explanation, sir.
Yes.
And I can only imagine how amazing this journey was for you.
Yes.
So, sir, if I can ask you to put some insight on the facilities and the extracurricular activities being provided by a college, and maybe you can talk a little bit on this infrastructure as well.
Yes. Janata Education Society has provided us a spacious, independent, exclusive building in the heart of the city. Now we are placed in Gayatri Nagar, close to Malleshwaram railway station and also to Majestic. Our institution is well connected by road as well as metro. BMTC buses, it is 4 kilometers hardly from the railway station and the city bus stand. And our students are making use of these facilities. They never find it difficult to reach the college because its accessibility. And then we have independent and exclusive building for law, a land donated by Shri S.T. Narayana Gowda. Presently, he is the Vice President of Janata Education Society. He has donated this land wherein Janata Education Society spent nearly 6 crores 10 years back to provide this facility, and we are exclusively running. It is a 5-story building, wherein we have housed office, library in the first floor, and the rest of the 4 floors are used for the classrooms. And at the top, we have an auditorium with a seating capacity of 300 members. And in the auditorium, we are providing even indoor facility also for the students, wherein they can play shuttlecock, table tennis, such facility we have. And just 100 meters away from my college, Malleshwaram ground is here. Our students are making use of such facility for sports activities. This is the facility provided and the infrastructure provided. Apart from this, we have exclusively boys hostel close to the college, just 50 meters away from here. And then it is with a capacity of 120 students could be easily accommodated there. These students from different parts of the country, particularly from our neighboring state, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra, and then we have students from Bhutan also. We have students from northeastern part of India, northern part of India. They are settled in our hostel, and we are catering to their needs. That is the boys' hostel. And from 1 kilometer away from here, close to Naurang Theatre, we have our own ladies' hostel, wherein we can easily house 50 girls, and our college students from different parts of the country and from outside country, they are staying there. And we have the Janata Education Society made elaborate arrangement for their safety and their security. This is the infrastructure one. Then Ankit.
Thank you, sir. Good to know. I was not aware on many things.
Yes.
It will definitely help everyone to understand the scale at which the college is running.
Yes.
Yeah. Moving on, sir. As you know, the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently.
Yes.
So, in your experience, sir, what can an inbound student gain from studying in your institute?
Yes. Our institute provide all facilities to the students, and we are strive for their overall development. Take for example, and yes, I quote some important events usually we organize in our institution. And then before that, I must tell you, last year in the competition success review conducted a survey wherein our institution was placed in the 15th position in India and one of the best institution, and we secured 15th position. And then within Karnataka, we were placed in the 9th position as per the survey conducted by the competition success review. It is concerning the last year. And then we have structured a course in such a way to help the students to cater to the needs of the market demand also. We are in the supply side and market demands something extra, for which we have internship we used to provide. The best example is our commerce students. They are placed and attached with the chartered accountants. Most of them are our alumni. They are giving them insight of this profession, then how to go about, how to face the challenge in this profession, and what usually a chartered accountant or a lawyer face in the field. And in the initial stage itself, we introduce the students challenges in the outside the education institution, then how to get adjust to that, and how to develop their what you call attitude to face the society. And then we have facilities to encourage our students. Take for example, we have 4 endowment lectures. We invite people. We have a law forum. That is, the law forum is under the chairmanship of one Mr. Shri H.G. Balgopal. He himself is a lawyer. We invite people from different walks of life and provide an opportunity for our students to interact with the people from different walks of life and to learn something from them and to interact with them. Last year, we have invited one professor, Professor Kaj, from United States of America. It was an opportunity for our students. We have 4 endowment lectures. Right from 2000, we have been organizing that Ulpul Munuswapa Munivenkatama Charitable Trust. They have deposited rupees 5 lakh a year from that endowment, what you call the fund, whatever the interest accrued. We spend that money to invite people from outside the country and to give an opportunity to our students to interact with them and to know their legal system better. And we used to publish all these lectures. This is the 21st publication we are bringing out now. And then, yes, the second one is Shrimati Kamalamma A.C. Appareddy Memorial Lecture. We do organize every year, instituted by Shri Harish Appareddy, one of the MC member. And then another memorial lecture is in the name of Shri Kengal Hanumantaya, a former Chief Minister and the architect of Vidhana Saudha of Bangalore. Shri S.T. Narayan Gowda and family instituted that endowment fund. We do organize programs there. And Shri K.V. Shankare Gowda, in his memory, he is the former education minister. One Mr. B.N. Shivkumar, our member, has donated some amount, and then wherein we have created an endowment fund. We organize lecture, publish lectures also. We have so many publications to our credit, thanks to these donors. And it is an opportunity for our students to interact with the people from different walks of life with different background, different experiences, and to choose their own area. The best example is one of my students. She was working with Indian Institute of Science as a patent advisor. She used to engage classes here, and the students, those who are interested in it, they can make IPRSS specialization. Once they take up IPRSS specialization, it is the responsibility she has taken to introduce them to the firms which are exclusively practicing on IPR. Likewise, even in commercial practice also, and then corporate practice, there are our alumni are there. We have a strong alumni wherein our alumni frequently visit here. We have a very good library. It is always open to our alumni. They come here, they make use of the library. When they come here, they interact with our students. They help them to choose their specialization in their practice. It could be practice, or in case if they want to go for the corporate practice or specialization, to do something as a specialization, they help them. This is the way in which we created a platform to have an interaction between our alumni and our students. The best example is one of our alumni. He is an income tax officer. He is an IRS officer. And he used to come and engage every year a session to train our and to influence our students to make them study hard, even to take competitive examinations as a challenge.
Yeah.
Likewise, there are many judges. Our alumni are working as judges. Our six of our former faculties have been elevated to the High Court. They keep coming here to guide our students. These are all the facility provided by the institution, thanks to the support by the management to help them to grow in their own field. Yes, Ankit.
Yeah. Great to hear that, sir. And I completely agree that alumni is the backbone of any institute. And I can totally relate the way you are relating how alumni is helping this organization to grow in multifolds.
Yes.
So you have also touched a very important aspect of placement, sir. So may I request you to put some more light on placement assistance you are providing to your students?
Yes, certainly. Most of the students from my institution, they go for practice, and 50% of the students they go for the different, they choose the different arena. The best example is our alumni are placing them, and we do invite the people, particularly industry, to have a campus interview. The classic example is last year, Punjab and housing, Punjab National Bank, that is one of the housing sector. They came here, they had a campus interview. They have selected 5 students and sent them to New Delhi for the further training. Then after that training, they have selected 2 of them. They are placed in a very good position now. Likewise, the people from the different organization, industry, and senior advocates, they do come here, they interact with the students, and they do select them, and institution certainly will help them to get placed in some of the good officers. Our alumni are in this way, their contribution is it's a lot. Then I thank my alumni for their continued support in placing my students and to help them to grow in their own field. Yes,
okay. Good. So taking the pedal to a little bit futuristic. So what do you think should be your college top priority over the next 10 years?
Yes. Our priority is this. First, my management always insists. Our President Shri H.G. Balakrishna, our Honorary Secretary Dr. C.N. Manchegowda, and we have eminent people in our management, academics like Professor G.K. Narayan Reddy is 94 years old now. He is the former Vice Chancellor of Karnataka University, Dharwad. They all used to come here, and one Dr. A.C. Raghuram, who is a scientist. He has the experience of working with our former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. They are all interested in the overall growth and development of what you call holistic personality of both faculty as well as the students. They always encourage and insist our teachers to attend as many as possible refresher courses, orientation programs. They encourage them to represent institution, to go outside, to engage classes, to participate in the workshop, and also to make presentations. And each teacher has to make at least one publication every year, they insist. When we give such an impetus to for the development of the progress of faculty, naturally it will have its own impact on the students. We have three PhD holders at present, and another three is shortly they are going to submit their PhD thesis for doctorate from various universities, and then we give maximum priority for their continued training. And in a way, it is helpful for the students to learn something from them. And we always insist on our teachers to take it as a specialization, to make it as a specialization in any one of the areas, and to help the students in that particular area to take up what you call that as a specialization in future. And our students are encouraged to represent our institution through moot society. We have a moot society consisting of the teachers and the students, where the senior students are selected as the mooters, and then all the juniors will be given a task of helping them through research. They will normally work as a researcher in the first and second year, and third year they themselves will become mooters. They represent our institution. They go outside to participate in state, national, and international moot court competitions. Whenever they go out, they learn a lot outside the classroom. That is the one thing. And second important thing, we always insist our students to participate compulsorily in legal aid programs. We have a legal aid clinic, we have a human rights cell, we have a right to information RTI cell, wherein the students have to compulsorily participate, go to the field, select a particular village, to educate the people there, and to interact with the people. Because a lawyer is a social scientist, he is a social engineer. This is the process in learning, not in the classroom. They can learn more outside the classroom. That's why we take them outside the classroom to interact with the general public, and they are all ways attached with some of the students. They are attached with the NGOs, they're attached with some of the other organizations wherein they can work, they can come back and share their experience with other students. Whenever they go, they have to submit a report. That report will be circulated among the students' community, and the students, those who are interested, they can make it as a specialized area. This is the way in which we train our students. And our motto is this, whatever you do in future, at least you help some people, those who are in need, badly in need of your service. You do better service to the society for better future of the country. That is our motto.
Amazing, sir. And that's the one line that lawyers are social engineers.
Yes.
It's a complete takeaway for me. It's a complete learning for me. Thanks for sharing that, sir. Just one last question. I will not take much of your time.
Yes.
So what do you see as one of the core strengths of Vivekananda College of Law?
The core strength of Vivekananda College of Law, I always believe that this is a value-based education what we provide. That is our strength. You remember, this institution was started in the year 1972. Janata Education Society started. Then why did they start this? They started, their zeal was this, to provide quality education with affordable cost. Even today, if you come to my institution, you will be surprised to know the fee structure in our institution. We cater to the needs of the people, those who are from the, but I'm not going to say always downtrodden, those who are in need, And we take them to our fold, we train them, we educate them. Our intention is to make them a good citizen for the society. If they help one person who is in need of their service, that is enough for us.
Amazing, sir, and thanks for those aspiring words. I really learned a lot from this interview, and I'm sure our audience will going to learn a lot by seeing this video. There is a lot more things we got to know about Vivekananda College of Law, and I'm pretty sure people will be more interested in asking questions. Thanks for taking out time, sir, and thanks for answering all the questions so patiently. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ankit, for providing me this opportunity to interact with you.